The changes keep coming for the Atlanta Falcons. Dan, during the Falcons' loss to the Giants on Sunday, I remember asking you, what are they going to do to make changes? Are they going to get rid of Mike Mularkey? Are they going to get rid of Brian Van Gorder? You said that you thought they'd probably stay the course. Well, now they're both gone anyways. We talked about Van Gorder already. Is Mularkey leaving maybe a good thing too?
I think it's got a chance to be. I don't know where they're going to go on this one. I think the options out there, no one jumps out to me as someone they have to have, someone who's the top candidate. On the defensive side, I really still think Steve Spagnuolo would be the guy there. Offense, I'm not so sure. And they do have to, I think, really assess what they have there and decide what they want to be. The whole talk going into this season was we need to be more explosive. But then, when you got to those 4th and inches situations on Sunday, they couldn't pick up the short yardage. And this is a team that prides itself on power running. So I think they have to look on that offensive line. They have to get more athletic to protect Ryan so that passing game can take off. They also need to have more power on the interior, I think, so they can pound ball up the middle when they need to. They're going to have to.
Probably a good situation for any offensive coordinator when you have that much talent at your disposal. Arthur Blank, the owner of the Falcons, spoke as well after the changes. And what kind of direction does he see this team going? How does he feel about where the franchise is right now?
Well, he's obviously very disappointed. He said, mad is a way he could describe his emotions right now. This is a guy who went into the season saying, I want rings. It's time for us to start contending for titles, not just playoff berths and get there again and don't come up with any wins in the postseason. So he gave you the response you would expect from an owner in that situation. But he does say he has ultimate confidence in Thomas Dimitroff and Mike Smith. Sticking with those guys, they're not on the hot seat at this point. But 2 new coordinators, and he thinks that's a good opportunity for this team to come in and have a fresh set of eyes on the offense and defense. And he said, maybe we'll change the things schematically a little bit. And I think personnel, obviously, there's going to be some significant turnover.
You mentioned Dimitroff. He's there. Obviously, Mike Smith, those 2 guys kind of the heart of this franchise right now. How does he see this offseason shaping up?
Well, it's interesting today that he mentioned there's 17 unrestricted free agents coming up, and when asked how many he expects to come back, he threw the number 8 out there. So they know that there's a lot of these players that they're not going to be able to afford, given the salary cap back in play with the new CBA. There's a lot of cord players on defense that they have to decide about. Curtis Lofton, John Abraham jump out to you. Brent Grimes at corner too. Those are the guys I think they're going to focus on. Some of those guys want to get them back under contract, but they're not going to be able to bring everybody back, and there's going to be some disappointment. And you also have to look at the players that are already on the roster. He said, he hinted that chemistry was kind of an issue for this team. So while everyone's going to focus on the free agents coming up, I think you might see a few surprise cuts here and there of guys that they just really didn't think brought it as much as they hoped this past season.
So much talent on this team. You think maybe 2 new coordinators, all the good pieces in place. Falcons probably could be good very soon. That's the latest what's going on in Atlanta. For the best coverage of the league, check us out at ProFootballWeekly.com.
It's never too early to start thinking about the NFL Draft, and Pro Football Weekly's new draft database has you covered. Check out updated player rankings for over 750 prospects and our exclusive PFW Stock Watch. Just go to the Draft tab at ProFootballWeekly.com.